Hello, dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique. It's Francesco Comito here, and today we'll have the opportunity to talk with a fantastic singer. She's a phenomenal Russian soprano, and she will perform for Le Salon de la Musique this Sunday, 9th of August. Now we will invite her to our studio, and we will ask her some question. Hello, Daria. How are you?
Hello, ciao ciao, cari amici, dear friends, tutti i miei amici d'Italia, toutes mes amies qui regardent notre transmission maintenant. Всем большой привет. So actually, I'm very happy to see you, Francesco. Thank you for the invitation. And so everything is good. I'm happy to be here and happy to start to talk to our public.
Daria, thank you very much. I'm so happy you are going to sing for us. Actually, you are the first singer for Le Salon de la Musique. Daria Davidova is the first singer that is going to perform for Le Salon de la Musique. In fact, usually on Sunday we have only pianists. We had a cellist also that played for us, and but you are the first singer, so maybe it will be a beginning of a new festival. We will invite other singers. Daria, I want to ask you what you are going to sing for us. I'm so curious.
Well, actually, it is a very special program which was born during this quarantine period. And the idea of this program was not only to make the music that I like, and that is very important, of course, to be in love with the music that you do, but it was the idea to get the people acquainted with many different genres and kinds of music, like romance, the area of the opera, this song, the folk song, the traditional song, I mean, and the romance song, the song. So this program, actually, it is the mixture of all these genres, and I hope that my choice will entertain people and will invite them in my world of music that consists of a lot of genres and beautiful pieces of international music. So there you will see an Italian opera area, a couple of Russian romances, some brilliant and very familiar French songs, I will say even popular songs from 20th century, and more and more. So I hope that this choice will broadcast my belief that the music, actually, the beauty of music, it touches all the genres, and by the means of this, it touches the heart.
Fantastic. Daria, I'm so curious to listen to you singing, this Sunday. But I wanted to know you better, and also to present your story to our subscribers. How did your passion for music started?
Actually, I started as a pianist as well. And at the age of 5, when I already managed to play the melody on piano using just like 1 or 2 fingers, I managed to repeat all the melodies that came up from the radio, from everywhere, so from some TV transmissions, some programs that I heard, and I recognized easily the melody, and so that made my father think that possibly she's having a special ear of music, and that is the reason for presenting me to a special to a teacher who will actually help to understand what should be done with that. And so I had my first audition with a very profound and, well, actually it is a huge figure in the world of piano, Her name is Irina Radzevich, and she was the teacher of Emil Gillis, of Boris Berezovsky, and plenty of actually of numerous names of Russian world of piano, classical piano, and so I was lucky actually to be her. I'm not saying student. I just had this audition, but that actually changed my life, because she told my parents that your daughter needs to be taught seriously, and she told my parents that actually she was ready to give me free lessons. The only thing to do was to actually to make it happen, to make it possible. But the life decided that things should go a little bit different. So my parents didn't have actually the ability to show me off to these lessons, because actually we lived a little bit far from Irina, from Irina Sergeyevna, and so actually it wasn't possible geographically, I will say. So I had some consultations from her, and that was it. I just started to be a student, a pupil of an average Moscow school as a pianist at the age of 5 years old. And at the age of 7, I moved to a different school, which actually is one of the best schools of Russia. So this is the school named after Frederick Chopin. This school produces actually genius that comes from the school, and that afterwards they continue their education at Moscow Conservatory, at Gnesin Academy. These students actually travel abroad and they finish Harvard, but not Harvard, but I don't know, all the best universities of the world actually are accessible for our students of Chopin School. That is actually, it's like this. And this was my school that I finished at the age of 14 years old. But all this time, all the process of my piano studies, I sang. I sang in choir, I sang as a soloist in some ensembles, and actually I was a little bit involved in the concert life of our school, and not only. So that actually was the reason why my father then just tried to do his best to find me the vocal coach, the vocal professor, who could possibly say, actually, if it is worthy, if it is necessary, that I should go further on and I should develop the voice. And at the age of 14 years old, I met my first professor at the College of Moscow Conservatory, who told me that actually the voice is purely operatic, and that's what I should do. I should start the career of an opera singer.
But when you understood that actually music will become your profession?
Well, honestly, I think that I hadn't have a choice since I know myself. So possibly I didn't understand precisely what should it be like, the career in music. So I just liked the music. I just liked this world, this atmosphere, the idea of being an interpreter of the great classical pieces, the masterpieces. And so I didn't know for sure at the age of even 14 years old what it is like being an opera singer or chamber singer or whatever. I just knew that this field is for me, and life will show me after a while how actually the career should be built, where is my place in it, and so what should I do about this.
But did you have some particular artist that actually inspired you? I don't know, some singer like Maria Callas or
Of
Montserrat
course,
Caballé.
of course.
Which one inspired you?
You
Which one?
know, it is also a list because I liked not only singers and not only classical singers. I would say that probably I was very much inspired and overwhelmed by the interpretation and presentation of even more pop singers or crossover singers because they were popular at the age when I was like 10, 12, 14 years old. So I remember very well Andrea Bocelli and his crossover hits that
Mhm.
actually I think burst everyone into tears and very, very sincere feelings. So for me, it was a very very strong emotion actually.
Mhm.
Bocelli, Sarah Brightman, Celine Dion, these singers for me were like, that's so beautiful. That's what I told to myself about them. I always was very inspired by them. But at the same time, speaking about classical singers, I uh, I think that when you see and when you, of course, when you hear the voice of Maria Callas, it drives you completely crazy because her energy, her eyes, her air, it's something fascinating.
Yeah.
And that was one of those who actually opened this world of opera to me. Besides, of course, it was Montserrat Caballé, as you already mentioned, because just her voice is a pure beauty. And that's what I really appreciate about voices and about music in general, the beauty of each tone, of each note.
The
So
color.
yeah. So and then by the time, of course, I discovered more and more. So for me, one of the best singers that I believe actually uh, I think changed the world of opera. They are Mirella Freni,
Of course.
Anna Moffa, and actually the list of singers. Of course, Anna Netrebko, but that
She's
was a
been
little bit
now in
late.
Italy. She's been
Oh
now
yeah,
in
yeah.
Italy performing. So, and I think she's going to perform Tosca. I've seen somewhere, but so you say also about Netrebko.
Of course, of course. It was just a little bit later, perhaps when I was like 16, 17, 18, at the beginning of her career, when she was already a star and she was completely beautiful in all senses of this world. So for me, it was also very inspiring because what I like about singers, what I like about people who I see at the stage is the beauty from all the sides. So I believe that when just a person is beautiful, of course, physically, mentally, and of course, technically, when we speak about voice and the manner of actually using the voice, when all this come all together, that makes actually a real star and a legend finally.
Dara, what do you think about music genre? Do you think that classical music, metal music, pop music, there is some genre that is better than the other one, or you think that music is something, unique, something that uh, you cannot divide in genre? What do you think?
Well, it's a very difficult question, I would say. Firstly, I'm not a very big specialist in other genres, I would say. I will explain why. My childhood was quite special because up to the age of, I think, 12 years old, I think I have never heard anything but the classical music. So I was just brought up like this by my parents, and for me it was absolutely natural to hear Mozart at home, to actually to go to sleep with the music of Beethoven, or Saint-Saëns, Camille Saint-Saëns and his Carnival, or some, I don't know, well, plenty of music that for me, I think I regarded that as the only one. So I didn't know that actually there are plenty of other songs, pop songs, rock songs. I discovered that a little bit later. So
Mhm.
my brain and my mentality was already constructed, formed in this direction. And so then I met the other genres of music that also seemed to be really very interesting to me, like rock music, pop rock, or whatever, pop songs that
Mhm.
actually sometimes are really very energetic and bright, and you really like the melody. So, so to speak, I will possibly consider myself as a meloman, or
Mhm.
someone who actually likes all of this, but when it is done with a quality, with a heart, with a good melody, that is
Of
also
course.
very necessary, and of course words that also I don't know, that helps you to understand the profound idea of the project of the song, or what, well, all of this. So that's how I see this.
But in fact, what you say, I think is I agree completely. Music is, I think, is one of the most powerful form of art because does not ask the permission to go through your heart. When you walk into the street and you hear some music and you turn your head and say, "Oh my God, where is this music coming from?" Because you don't need to know about classical music. You don't need about pop music. You need only to open your ears and your heart. If you are sensitive and you open your soul to music, uh, music will touch you. So there is no need, I don't understand to say, oh, I don't understand classical music because blah, blah, it's boring. It's not true. uh, I'm not an expert of wine, but when I have a glass of wine, if it's tasty, I will drink it.
Of
And
course,
one bottle, two bottles, and for me, no problem. If the wine is not good, I will throw it away.
of
And
course,
but not an expert of wine, but I have a taste. It's not sophisticated. It's the same thing with music. If there is music that is good music and music that is bad music, if the music is good, will touch your heart without asking the permission.
of
And
course.
if it's bad music, you will not even hear it. Okay, we have
That's
here
well
two
said.
more, two questions for you from our dear Alex, that is always every live chat asking questions. We will give a prize to our dear Alex. Okay, let me read. You are very beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you
Thank you.
think Do you think that the way how singer looks now became equally important, along with beauty and strength of her voice? Do you think that era of Montserrat Caballé is finished, and singers who have an incredible voice but less incredible body and face will not have a great success on stage?
Well, I don't think so, frankly speaking, and I will say that actually the um, physics, it's important, but for that you have a group of stylists, of professionals who can actually make all your parameters, all your specifications, and who can turn what you are like into the best form of it, whatever you like. Of course, there is a certain tendency to have a model or a Hollywood star with the voice of a diva, but that's okay. I think the human nature is like this, to have it all, you know, to have beauty everywhere, and that's what also, frankly speaking, attracts me at all. Well, that's natural, I think, to be attracted when you see a beautiful face, when you see a beautiful dress, when you see, and when, of course, you hear the voice, which either it attracts you, either it's just a voice. So, of course, when you go to the opera production or a recital of a singer, the first and the most important thing is the beauty of the voice, and that is very important to understand, because without this, it's not, actually, it doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, I would say that for me personally, the beauty, it's not actually the shape of your face, or as we say, 90, 60, 90, or whatever, some model features. For me, the beauty, it's it's a certain harmony of a person with himself or herself, how actually he feels like. And it is very, very evident sometimes when you see a person, either he or she is okay with his appearance, either not. And this harmony, for me, it's very important, because actually this also builds up a whole image of an artist. So, and sometimes you can forget easily about some not disadvantages, but maybe imperfections, let's say imperfections. But, well, what is perfection? It's also a question, uh, of course. So that's what I'm driving at. So you can easily forget about something which is not perfect, and at the same time, you can see a perfect woman or a man in front of you, but somehow you're not touched.
In fact.
And that is the worst of all. So what is actually for me the beauty, it's all of this. It's a kindness of a soul, or it's the eyes that actually have something to produce, to provide. It is, of course, the voice and the quality and the technique of all that concerns actually music, yeah, and the skills to make the music perfect, and the rest of things that can be actually easily um, provided by also a specialist, like stylists, hairdressers, makeupers. Now, actually, everything is possible. You just need to have an idea, to have the desire to create the image, to find you in this image, and to feel well about this.
Fantastic answer, Daria. Let's move to the second question we have. Okay, since acting skills are important for the theatrical side of opera, are there great opera singers who just don't have that skill? How important are these skills?
Well, I think that these skills actually are not they are a little bit secondary, just due to the fact that you cannot act as a dramatic actor fully, because just you sing, and when you sing you use different muscles, different sides of your face, and you cannot transform your face in a fully dramatically acting face, because you sing. But at the same time, I think that for an opera singer, it's very important to work on the emotion, according to the Stanislavski system, that will help to produce this and to give this emotion to public by means of the eyesight, by means of your maybe even the way of posture or some gests. And it is very important to produce this naturally, because even if you will act, and if you actually had plenty of acting courses and lessons, but finally you make it in a very artificial way, it's not worthy. So for me, in opera theater, it's very important to look at the singer who knows very well what he or she is singing about. What is the story of the personage of a character? What is the conflict? What is actually the real emotion? What emotions you can put in the heart of your character, from your life, from your experience, from experience of your friends, of people that you know, of maybe of some film or book characters, but actually that touched you, and you will do that naturally on the stage to people who actually expect you to give this emotion to them by the means of voice, appearance, and once again the idea in your head and in your heart that it is above all this. That's what I think about this.
And our Alex is writing here. Thank you. Have you ever experimented with Russian folk songs?
Oh, thank you for this question. Actually, yes, and not only it was not just an experiment. I would say that I even recorded recently, so an album. The album was edited and it was published this year, 2012. Oh, sorry, what year we are actually? Yeah, 2020 exactly. Sorry, I'm I'm behind the time. So that's what I'm saying. So I made an album of Russian folk songs, and the accompanying orchestra was a very renowned Russian orchestra of Nikolai Nekrasov. This year, this orchestra celebrated their 75th anniversary. So actually, they have the same anniversary as the victory of a Russian second Russian war that actually was finished at 45th last century. And so this orchestra, it's a miracle, I would say, of Russian orchestras that exist now, and it is something very special to sing this folk repertoire, these traditional songs, with a group of 75 musicians that play balalaika of small side, middle size, big size, so bass balalaika, with dombra, with numerous unique and authentic Russian instruments. And so actually that's what I did this year, and I was very happy to make it. And actually in the concert of this Sunday, you will also hear a couple of Russian folk traditional songs with piano, of course. So, well, it's just still not possible to make live concerts with such a big group with an orchestra, but I hope that this will come
Of
soon.
course, we hope. Of course, we want. You said about this orchestra that is something incredible. So we will also want to listen to it. Dara, you said that you are going to sing with a piano, with a pianist, but you told me also that you play piano. That you play piano. How much you think is important for a singer to know how to play piano in order to accompany himself?
I think it is very important. frankly speaking, it is important from all the sides. Firstly, it is just simplifying a lot of things because you can easily learn a new piece. You can easily play to yourself whatever you score your the score you receive. You can easily study the new thing and accompany yourself with some harmonies or well whatever you want. It's not maybe necessary to play well in terms of real pianists who obtain the skills of speed and virtuosity. Maybe it's not necessary, but it's always good to learn to be able to do something extra. That's what I think. So it's always classy and actually splendid when you discover that a singer can do something else. So it can be a list of things, either a piano, a guitar, or maybe some other instrument. That actually helps you to learn more about music because the vocal line it's just a part of the music, and when you discover the music from the other sides, it's very helpful always. So I think it's important, and of course it's just um, it's easier to learn a new opera role when you're alone. And imagine at the time of this quarantine and the period when actually we all were under this lockdown. So, was it possible always to have someone who can accompany you, who can actually help you to learn a new part or to just to have a lesson? I think no. So is it important? I think yes. So at least there is a minimum, you know.
Yeah, you reminded me Juan Diego Flores when he sings and also plays guitar. This is something
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see him sing Donizetti or Bellini, and after he takes his guitar and sings, songs in Spanish, something incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a sort of surprise watching a singer that does also plays another instrument.
Yeah.
Daria, I want to ask you about what is the role character that you have played that you feel more close to.
Well, it depends on the day, I think. But honestly, one of my most touching and a special roles for me is Mimi from La Boheme. So this is the role that I finished the conservatory with, and right before that, I made the debut in Mimi in Italy. I sang a series of performances of La Boheme as Mimi in Gallipoli, Lecce, Bari.
In
Uh,
Puglia, so fantastic place. I
yeah,
love Puglia.
so it was quite, you know, unforgettable for me. And so for me, Mimi, it's firstly, it is a lady who is so fragile, but at the same time so strong. She's so Italian, but at the same time she's so French and maybe a little bit Russian. She suffers, and at the same time she's very calm and easy and friendly and open. She's ready to love. She doesn't think about some maybe, well, she doesn't think logically that, okay, I should have a man with me who will help me to make my life easier, who will actually solve my problems, who will commercially be involved into the life and everything. So she doesn't think about that honestly, because that's not the first and the only thing that bothers her. No, she's in the different level of perception of life. And that touched me a lot when I discovered this role. And since then, I'm in love with this character. And when I sing it, I always find a lot of inspiration about this.
So, do you think that your personality is, we can say, similar with the Mimi's personality,
Well, maybe in some way, in some way.
or if I will ask you, this question, if you can tell me, for example, another name of, for example, a character in the opera, which one you think is more similar with your personality?
Well, in some way, my personality was actually developing and changing also. So in one period, in certain period of time, I was maybe I felt myself. I regarded myself as Mimi. In the other times, Musetta. In the different times, Lauretta, with some conflicts with parents and some expectations, maybe. So, but it's just all of that. It's a short period of time because all of them, these ladies, anyway, they represent opera. And though I think that life it's a big opera, I still think that you can never consider yourself as an opera character completely, because anyway it's just a part of any human being all in all. So
Okay, here we have two more questions. Let me read here. Okay, do you like to sing contemporary music, Daria?
it's a very good question, but I have a second one to specify what contemporary music we are talking about. If it is a classical contemporary music, if it is some pop music, what actually genre we talk about. If we say, well, let me just start to answer myself. If we speak about classical contemporary music, also, I'm having a question. If we speak about the times of nowadays, either we speak about like the end of 20th century or the middle of 20th century, which for me seems to be also contemporary. For example, when I think about contemporary music, I also think about William Walton or Bernstein or I don't know, Britten. For me, these names, these composers also seem to be like a little bit contemporary. No, but maybe it's just my appreciation, my idea of them. But yes, actually, and I like all of this list in a different way, but I'm also very interested to discover more because anyway, the idea of contemporary music anyway, it is um, to open and to try to express the life of our days, of the present day, of new waves, of new ideas. And I'm excited to be a part of that. And yeah.
He is saying, Alex, something like Ligeti, for example. There is this opera, Le Grand Macabre, that when I heard this opera the first time, I was shocked listening to the soprano, how difficult is this way of composing, for singers. They say, how is possible to sing this way? That's why, our dear Alex, is writing about Ligeti, because also I think about contemporary music for vocal, something
Mhm.
like him. Do you actually ever play Ligeti?
No, never, not yet.
And
So I cannot in this case I cannot say whether I'm okay with that. I have never tried, so maybe give me time to be back with my impressions, if ever, let's say. But well, I'm quite open because anyway, it's very interesting to go on and to discover the music. And sometimes I find I just I just feel that even if I initially didn't understand something as a person who just listens to the music, but sometime when you start to immerse into the music as a singer, and by the repetitions, by the rehearsals, by the time you get the music you get to know it better, sometimes actually you like it finally, and you start to find you start to know this music better and to understand more and more and more about this. So I think that some contemporary music needs time, and so even if you didn't understand that at the beginning, after the first time you heard it, you actually listened to that, it's not necessarily bad, the music, or it's not necessarily crazy. It's just need time and a profound study. And also, what I noticed, sometimes it's better to sing the music than to hear the music. So sometimes you love it more when you do it, uh, uh, whether actually vice versa when you hear it, just because you had more time to discover some beauty of it, some ideas, some tricky details, some decisions of a composer. So yeah.
Dear Daria, I want to ask you two more questions that I usually ask to all of our artists. The best advice you received from, I don't know, your teacher, a parent, a friend, the best advice you received in general.
Well, you mean in the professional sense, or
Yes, can be also
for
in
general one?
general. Can be. The best you think is the best advice you received in your life. I know
I
that is
think
a tough question, but just
Mhm.
try to think.
I think that one of the best advice, one of the best piece of advice, and sort of thoughts. It was just a thought that somehow I tried to follow, was following. So I think that that is very important to never forget that when you go to the stage, you don't actually do it because you have to do it, or you have to do it right, or you have to do it perfect. In case, if not, oh my god, a disaster. You have to make the music for people, and so you have to forget all the technical details on everything. This is already an habitude, it's already a habit, a sort of road you need to follow. You don't need to think about this. You just need to actually to do it, and for this you need to train a lot to automatically do that. But when you go there and nothing else is important, it is just you and the music that people came to hear, to listen to, and to immerse, and to actually to be in this pleasure of the music. So you have to forget about the personal doubts. I think one of the best phrases on the point is, if you doubt, leave it out. So no doubts, no extra ideas. You have to do the most of the job in class, in the classroom, with your coach, with your pianist, with your professor, maestro. You have to be ready there, and when you actually exit the classroom and when you go towards the stage, you have to catch the wave of the music deep inside of you, and the ability to get the most of it to people. So I think that's
And if you were to give an advice to a beginner that wants to be a singer, what would you say to him or to her?
I would say that there is no right or wrong ways to develop a career, to find your repertoire, to find the best for your voice. It is just you and your personality, your the features of your voice, the features of your character, your physics, and there's no need sometimes to listen a lot to the others, and especially to those who react negatively to the things, because all the most bright and the strongest people will never criticize you in a negative sense. They will always give you the really worthy advice, even if they do not like something, even if they do not actually find something genius. They will never destroy your desire to go on. They will encourage you, and maybe they will say that maybe you have to think about this, well, look profoundly on this and this. So it is very important to surround yourself with those who believe in you, and those who can actually give the hint, those who can actually maybe open your eyes to look in the direction where you have to go on to improve your skills. And so my advice is to listen to those who believe in you, and avoid the others who actually sometimes do not understand a lot but give some negative advice. Because
This is the
yeah.
best advice I ever heard, I can say. Perfect. Really clear and strong message. Follow your dreams, never give
Yeah.
up, listen to people that believe in you. Of course, being careful, because so if somebody gives a negative, how to say,
Atmosphere. Yeah.
yes,
I
say something negative about what you do. Maybe
yeah.
sometimes it's right. So we must hear carefully what people are saying and take what good there is, what
Yes.
in what they say.
And
And I think
mhm.
no, no,
Sorry.
sorry, say.
Yeah, and in addition to this, I will say that it's very important to forget to compare you with the others, because anyway, your way, your voice, your personality, your destiny, it is unique, and
Fantastic.
this is something that you can sometimes understand a little bit later than you should, but when you really understand it mentally, physically, emotionally, from all the sides, from this moment, your life transforms. Your life becomes just like the right way. Yeah, the way to the right, the way to your aims, to your goals, and you will follow your way, and you will never think, and you will never say to yourself that, oh, but why my way wasn't like this? Why did I have to go like this or maybe like this? It doesn't matter, because you start to like having your way like it is, as it is. So, and you like it and you follow it. And actually, I think this is the real pleasure of living. So, but for this, you have to be frank and honest with yourself, and to never give up, because the way sometimes, well,
These
never
principles,
say.
these things now you are saying are one of the most important ideas on that we use in Le Salon de la Musique. Le Salon de la Musique was born on these ideas. On these ideas, do not compare yourself with others. Be unique It's better unique than better. There is no need to compete with others.
Absolutely.
What we teach to our friends that they are joining the Salon de la Musique is not compete in the market. Create your market. You are unique. You have your how to say, you have your qualities and defects. And defect, if you know how to use your defect, you can make this defect sellable. You can make your quality sellable. There is no need to compare yourself with others. Oh, you can do better than me. It does not exist, this idea. Nobody can do better something, especially music. Music, everybody is unique. And there is nothing objective. It's not playing chess. When you play
Yeah.
chess, if I win, it's because I have a better player. Also in competition, it's really a strange thing. When you have juries, you have mice, and the mice can never recognize a tiger. When the tiger will go to playing competition, he will say, "Oh my God, what is this tiger so big with this, mustache, so ugly? Yeah, look, this beautiful mouse is coming, so little with this long tail, so beautiful. Let's give him the first prize." So don't, of course, there is or not all competition like this, but don't focus your activities on only on this. You do competition if you like challenges, but focus in your personality to create a brand, to create your um, something original. Try to create something new to say for classical music. There is no need to copy something, something like other they did. Of
That's
this,
true.
what you said before, I think is the best advice I ever heard, because exactly what we are doing here in the Salon de la Musique. There is not need to compete. This is the thing.
I'm
Be
very happy
original. Be
to
yourself.
support your concepts and your ideology. Actually, I'm very happy to be one of you because that's what I frankly think about our music sphere. All in all, it's not sport, it's not maths. You cannot count, you cannot compare, but you can feel. You can find those who actually lead you to the other worlds of something extra, of magic, of magnetism, of something unique and unbelievable. And it's you who decide actually who you like to listen to, and it's you who decide what actually you can give to people by means of your talent, your abilities, your personality, and your wish. So yeah.
Daria, thank you very much. I'm so happy you are here, having a chat with me, with our friends of Les Salons de la Musique, and I'm so happy you are going to sing for us this Sunday. I want to thank our subscribers and remind them that our Daria Davidova, she's going to sing this Sunday, 9th of August, 8 p.m. Italian time. And don't forget that there is in the link in the description, the link below, there is the possibility. First of all, if you want to know more about Daria, you can read in the Facebook events all the information about her. There is also the program she's going to sing, and the most important thing is the link where you can make a donation. It's really, really important that everybody makes a donation, because artists, they work so hard every day. They, especially in this moment where because of this coronavirus, it's really hard to work. We need to support classical music. We need to support talented musicians, and Daria, we can say, is really, really talented. So, dear
Thank
friends,
you very
I,
much.
I cannot wait for your concert, dear Daria. Spaccone noce, buonanotte, good night, and to
Bonne
our
nuit.
American, thank you very much. To our American friends, that have a nice day, buona
Yeah.
giornata, And okay, dear Daria, thank you very much. Spokojnej noci.
Francesco, caro Francesco, sono
Buonanotte.
felice molto.
You speak very well Italian. Complimenti.
Grazie, grazie a lei. Ciao,
Buonanotte.
ciao. Thank you very much, and thanks for all of our subscribers and those who actually were with us this moment, which I will never forget because it was very energetic and inspiring. Thank you.
Fantastic, Daria. Thank you very much. Buonanotte.
Ciao, ciao. Пока-пока.
Пока.